All right, this is going to be short. I mostly wanted to look more carefully at the 6-position illumination module that is on this March scope. I've been sort of revisiting a couple of March designs. I like where the company is going, so I'm looking at them a little bit more carefully. This is the March 1 to 8 Shorties. They have very discrete labeling, so you can tell, but it's a 1 to 8 front focal plane scope. I looked at it, when was it, last year I think, and I thought it was a very decent scope. There are a couple of things there I didn't like too much, and one of them was the way March did illumination. So traditionally, the way March did illumination, it was a 4-position switch where you had this big button that would just go to state 1, 2, 3, 4, and would cycle through the illumination levels. Well, unbeknownst to me, they developed this new one that works a little bit differently. Previously, and they still have it, they have this 4-position module, and they have 2 of them, one for low light and one for medium light. And the one that was for low light was good in low light, but you could really barely see it at all during dusk. And the one that was a little bit brighter was okay during dusk, not quite bright enough for daylight, but too bright for low light. And I did not like that you had to cycle through the settings. The nice large rubberized button is easy to press, but cycling through the settings all the time, I didn't like it all. So they made this new 6-position switch. Apparently they had it for a little bit, but it was never advertised, and I like this one a lot more. The big rubberized button is still there, but all it does now, it turns it on and off. And there is this rotary thing here, and you can kind of see 1 through 6 positions where you can rotate it. It's reasonably stiff, so it's not going to adjust by itself, but you can just do it with a finger. This is kind of a, as you can see there, so there are ridges here, so you can grab onto it if you want, right? So this sets the illumination level, and this turns it on and off. And I think there is an auto shut off, if I remember correctly. Yeah, you can see that. Right? So that's kind of an interesting thing, and ultimately I think it's a much better way to go. It's still not quite bright enough for full daylight. The way the illumination levels for the 6-position switch are, it combines the previous 4. So previously the top two illumination levels from the low light switch were the same as the bottom 2 from the brighter light switch. Now it basically covers all 6 levels that you would need 2 different illumination modules previously to cover. So I like this. This is a really nice thing. The brightest is still not quite bright enough. Let me go, I'm on 1, so it should be fairly easy to see. Let's see if I can get this reticle to illuminate. There's nothing to see here, unfortunately. It's very out of focus. Let's see, can I do it handheld? I cannot. Alright, I'm gonna do a separate video on the reticle itself. But bottom line is, I think this is a much better arrangement. And most importantly, I tried it briefly on a rifle. It's really easy for me to just flip it on and off. And if I need to adjust the light level, it's usually a more deliberate thing. I wish they had a brighter illumination, and I'll see if I can convince them to do something a little different there. But, this is an intelligently designed switch. Aside from that, March is March. Mechanical, optical, everything is good. This is the shortest of the low power variable scopes that I've seen. Definitely the shortest 1 to 8. There are some advantages and disadvantages with that. One of the things I really want to try with this is potentially using it with a clip-on and stuff like that. It is a good precision scope up to 500-600 yards. So I'm probably going to try this on my 6.5 Grendel next and see if I can kind of make a SPR-ish Grendel. and see how it works with the scope, and then see if I can get my hands on a clip-on. I'm not crazy about having an exposed windage turret, but it is quite stiff, and it's going to be difficult to inadvertently adjust it. I'm going to put the lapel mic next to the turret so you can hear the sound. There's no slop, there's nothing in the turret. It's a really nicely low profile. So here's the elevation turret. These turrets are very, very easy to use without looking at them, and there is a zero stop where you just take this thing and dial it down, and it stops it at 0. Here's the windage. Overall nice feel, very similar feel for the windage and elevation turrets, which I like. So I'll pop the scope in the rifle and use it, and I'll post some pictures, and I'll do it through the scope video. This is a different reticle from what I've seen before, something I call FMC3. It's a little bit thinner. It's not ideal, I think, for going really fast on 1x, although the way the reticle is, it works okay. But it is a good general purpose precision reticle for an SPR type setup, which is what I want to try with this one. Stay tuned.